Thank you. Social issues and economical issues can never exist in isolation. And everything around you can contribute to your health, be it mental health, be it the pain of budgeting, being the triumph of budgeting, getting what you want. And who better to deal with this than our guest today, as he's going to help us understand the importance of budgeting and how budgeting is not nice. It's really not nice. So, without further ado, I'm sure you guys already know Mathieu. So I'll just let him to tell us a bit about budgeting, what is to budget, and then we'll take it on.
Thank you, Tato. Matsi, as you know me, I've been here, becoming a normal guy on the podcast. Thank you for that. And budgeting, I know most of us, when we think of budgeting, we think we just get afraid of it, as if like it's a big elephant that we can never defeat or maybe finish eating or something. But one thing that I can tell you is that it's hard, but we must just do it. Even the hardest it is, because there's no other way that I can say it will easy it up and make it easy for you,
Right.
But sometimes you have to face the elephant, as I always say, in the room and make sure that you take it head on. It is tough first time.
Yes.
Yeah, but you just have to sit down one time and do budgeting.
No, absolutely. And we're gonna touch more around that topic and also the importance of perhaps of saving and debt management in an overall. But then today we're not alone again. With us there's Sebenzile. Sebenzile is a student, but you know what? I just let him to introduce himself. Without further ado, over to you, Bats.
Okay, so my name is Sebenzile Kabone. I'm currently a student studying at TUT Electrical Engineering, but also on the side I've done some reading here and there on budgeting and philosophy-based content. So I think today I may be able to impart some words here and there. So I think for now we'll just go as the podcast. We'll just see as the podcast goes.
While we are on you, Sebenzile, what is your understanding of budgeting?
To me, budgeting is planning how much money planning how I'm gonna use the money. But I think most people budget per monthly, so it's planning how will I use that money in that month? How will I beforehand, before I spend it, before I get the money, how will I then use it for the things that I need? Because we all know there are things that we want, but then we also have to spend money on the things that we need. So budgeting is then making sure that at the end of the month, or let's say 10 days before the month is finished, I'm not worried about, there's this payment I need to do, there's that payment I need to do. So that's what I think. That's
Also,
what I
when
think
you're
budgeting.
called somewhere, you don't want to be stressed. How do I get there? But of course, we have a radio personality right there at the corner. Do you want to say some words?
What's up? What's poppin'? What a guy! You are talking with me from the other side, away from the light.
Yes.
For Naman, budgeting. No, as I grew up, I normally used to confuse budgeting and saving. Hobia chelete away, I thought very na budget, and only to realize it might be, and maybe Matsi will help us, where you're saying kinyako budgetela selo se so ngwaho o tlang kinyako reka koloi, but kinyako budgetela because I don't have cash. I think that's saving. But for me, I think budgeting is important. Why? Because it's a way of knowing you unale 10 rand, knowing that you are going to use it for this element or how to use it. Yeah, budgeting is about how to use the money that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But see, I think you thought too. So otherwise, because I keep on like it, get la Google. Or what is budgeting?
Plus, you are online. Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. And I don't know, I'm online, but you are looking this side.
That's it.
Yeah.
Take us through your journey, but it's so painful to be going through your bank statement one by one, trying to find out where is your money going, all of that. Anyway, before we came in here, we had a conversation outside briefly, and you were explaining your strategy to getting a total cost of whatever is happening in terms of your account, like a total expenditure. That's the word I was looking for. And then you are able to see how much money went out and how much money you received. Doing that manually, it's something else. So to a person that wants to understand how much money is going out of their account and trying to balance the income, what would you say to them, or rather share your strategy, the one that you use in terms of finding out your total cost?
Okay, thank you, Tatu. It all starts with understanding your numbers, because you cannot just get a template. The template, you can find it anywhere, budgeting template, or you can either just from the top, you have your income and you have your expenses, then you write it down like that, then you get a total, you subtract the two. That's simple, how simple it can get. But then you want to understand where you are now, because it doesn't help to just budget, more like just saving a forecast. We need a real budget, a realistic budget. So the first thing will be to, as I've once mentioned, that you need to get that financial statement. First, you need to understand where you are. Then once you understand where you are, then you are able to determine from your bank statement what income is coming there. Because people lie,
Yes.
You can say, I have this much of income, I have this much of income, I'm spending on these expenses, these are my fixed expense. I'll share a bit on that, on the fixed expense also. And the only way we can know that you are telling us the truth is by financial statement. I say you have your whatever your salary advice or pay slip, you have your financial statement on table. So you understand first where you are, where your money is going.
So kgopelo botsisa. Ke not saying ke tla tsena. So you are actually saying budgeting is about how much money comes in,
Yes.
and then how much money goes out.
Yeah.
And therefore, how much should we save, and how much should we be allocated to different categories or component?
Yes. That's
Okay.
well said. Because then once you know where how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, now you are able to question each and every expense on that statement. Are they giving fulfillment, or it's just an expense that is costing you?
Or you give it a name.
That's when it comes, when you give it a name. Yes.
You know what? Before we go, before we dwell into this conversation, at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, a person that wants to work on their budgeting, and they sit down and they look at their financial statements, and they see that there's not much hope, right? In terms of a person being caught in a red race. To say you jump from this I don't know, this expenditure to the next. When you're outside again, you mentioned that once you finished paying a certain account, that flexibility of money, you take it and you put it into savings. But let's talk to someone who's out here, who's listening, watching this, and thinking, budgeting, it's not easy. The level of discipline that you need, the mental strength that you need to be doing it. I mean, you were talking about it now outside, having to deprive yourself of certain things. Talk to us about it.
Okay, but I think before we continue on, sorry to jump in.
Sharp.
I'm just wondering what would you classify as a financial statement? Because the best thing I can say is maybe the bank transactions, is that my financial statement or is my financial statement something else?
No, it's the same thing. Remember, we just say we must just lower it as simple as it can get. We want to understand how your money is coming in and coming out. You either can use a transaction, maybe your phone, or maybe you can use a bank statement. We want to understand that, the truth, because we have to face the truth of the matter, where your money is going. And just to answer on that one, I think I lost it. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Before that question, I don't know if I did. Is your answer satisfied?
Yeah, so basically you're saying that I can use my bank transactions as my financial statement.
I've used bank transactions sometimes when I just want to make things quick. It's just that it might, as you use your phone there, you must just scroll through it. But it's better sometimes, to go old school, to just line up those expenses, because at least you see them there. But the quickest way now, there's better ways, to fast track the process. Instead of just printing and all that, you can always use transactional transactions. What do you call it?
Bank transactions.
Bank transactions.
So sorry. So I know everyone knows or knows that we need to budget, but we are not doing it. And I'll
Yes.
tell a personal story. When I started working, I was earning something like 5,000, paying rent, transport, contributing towards taking care of the child. When I was writing budget down, I was on a minus.
Always.
Yeah, no, I was on a
Same here.
minus.
I'm always on a minus. I'm never on a positive. Yeah.
Already, we fetch a Mara account. Actually, before you even get paid, the money is finished, and then that emotional thing. So my question is, the impact of budgeting and the impact it has on your mental and your emotions, and why should we force ourselves to do it?
I think it comes back to, what do you want in life, It comes back to your goals. Myself, as at that time, I was to get out of debt. Now, question is, what do you want to buy? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want a house? Do you want to, those goals, they must drive you. I think first, you also need to write the goals, the financial goals, because it doesn't help to just say I'm budgeting, but for what purpose are you doing that?
So there must be a goal.
There must be a financial goal, because when you budget, you're either trying to free money and also make sure that you understand all where your money is going, so you can dedicate those free money that you find on the budget to a specific goal, like myself getting out of debt.
Maybe ke botsitse ka Sekgowa, ke botsitse
No, but
ka
I
Sotho.
think.
So question ya ka ke hore, why do people fail to budget? Because we all know that we need to budget.
yeah.
And we also know the importance of budget, or think we know the importance of budget. Actually, why do people fail to budget? And maybe probably if we can know the importance, we will then force ourselves, because budgeting is painful.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I'm in debt, and you are saying I must budget to get out of debt. Or other ones, their finances are okay, but they still need to budget. Yeah. So why as people do we fail to budget?
I think we fail into budget because of, as you mentioned, that is a difficult thing. Then if you can't budget, I think it's better to have a budget meeting. A budget meeting, you might invite Masie or to assist you on that, because then you are failing to do it. Because that means if you want to continue budgeting on yourself and you are not going through with it, then you're not gonna really get anything out of that. I think getting someone who can assist you through the process, through the budget, like maybe getting a simple template, because sometimes it's difficult to look at when your balance is on minus. It's very difficult to start budgeting. But if you get someone who can really show you, it's not as bad as it looks, because sometimes as you are looking at it, you can't see where you can find positive money or maybe extra expense or maybe unnecessary expense that you can cut out of the budget. So the best place it will be to just have a budget meeting with someone who can assist you to see differently, more of a change your mindset on the budget, on what is budgeting, because it's not there. It's there to assist you. It's there to assist. It's an assistant where you need to move from a negative to a positive. So
Sebenzile, as a student, do you see the importance of budgeting? Have you ever seen your parents, or do you and I have a budget, and how does it help you? And same questions goes to everyone. Low and not hard.
Hey. Budgeting, it's tough, Captain. I don't know. Everyone says they're budgeting, right? And you've always heard parents saying they're budgeting. But when a person is saying about they're budgeting, I've always seen them thinking of things and then just getting it done. So in terms of first hand being taught how to budget, I don't think it's something that I was ever exposed to until I started working, and that I have to pay this, I have to pay that, and to me, that's what in fact I would consider as a budgeting, which I need to learn, and that's why I wanted to invite Mathieu to speak to the readiness of preparing yourself, to budget, the mental shift, because I think that's where everything starts. So, so to me, I don't know in terms of budgeting, but Sebenzile, maybe when you might have a better story.
I think for me it's 50-50 whether I do it. But I think on my parents' side, I do see, let's say sometimes they do have, let's say on Excel on Excel, they have a spreadsheet on how they're going to spend the money and that. But I think with me, it's almost like I don't get that much money. So then I'm not that stressed about budgeting.
He doesn't get so much money. He makes so much money.
But besides that, the way I do it, I do afterwards, after the month, see where did I spend the money, how much money did I get in, how much money did I get out. But then I think there was a way where I always used to maybe, let's say sometimes I get confused on what happened after doing calculations. Let's say every day I get a new transaction, then I do calculation. Next day I do, then at the end of the day, the finances weren't balancing. So what I decided then to do was create a transaction list, what I call a transaction list.
Yeah.
So let's say maybe today I took transport here. That would be in my transaction list on this date, transaction list on this date. And then that helps to somewhat fix up how much money I have or what's happening with my finances.
Or accountability, to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
But then I also, so maybe at the end of the month, you get a lot of transactions that it becomes difficult. So what I'm thinking of doing now, maybe after 10 days, I'm like, this is what's happening.
Review.
Then I know that let's say then on my final list of what's happening, then after 10 days, I have, this is what happened. Then I write the 10 days. Then I know come 20, this is what happened after 10. Then I just calculate from 10 to 20 and do like that.
That's actually smart.
Sorry. Now this conversation, and for the fact that I'm not in the spotlight, it's nice to be on the other side. So now we are approaching festive season, and with you talking about the transaction list. Okay, first we know parents, boyfriends, girlfriends. Festive season, we must entertain ourselves. Come January, buy school needs stuff, stationery and everything. And then at the same time, come January, we must continue with our own life. So are you saying the importance that can budgeting help us in that? And with that, to question one, the importance for preparing in this for the festive season, the importance of budgeting so that we can manage all those things. And happy, still, budgeting makes me feel somehow. Like the mental strength, like Swanson never sweetable.
Check where you messed up.
Check where you've messed up. Or even if you haven't messed up, check where we are going. So, to avoid that come January or the 28th of December where you don't have anything, will we say it's important that we budget? Hey.
So I hear you, gents, and we're speaking about budgeting, but I feel like we're not addressing the elephant in the room, because there's a difference between budgeting, investing, and savings. So to a person who's sitting at home looking at budgeting, what is budgeting, Mathieu, in terms of, what is budgeting? Let me leave it there.
budgeting is technical. I mean, as we have mentioned, is that you must know your expense. I mean, your income. Then you take it to, you put your expense, all of your expense. Then with that, there will be what we call it the needs and the wants. On the needs, there are 4 pillars there, which the 4 pillars is the rent, the transportation, the food, and what other things that I've missed. So it's all needs that you must write. So mostly how you'll do it is on how I do it, which it can also help. Is on the left-hand side, you have all your income on the left-hand side. Then once you have your income on the left-hand side, then you'll have all your monthly income, your monthly expense on the right-hand side. Then you make sure you write everything there. Then you write all the expenses. As I said, you must have that statement to know what are you spending on, including all the rent and transportation, food, which is groceries. You write everything down there. So to understand how you are spending your money. So then you can try by all means to get to a zero budget. When you go to a zero budget, it's when your income minus the expenses it gives you zero. That means you don't have anything that is not accounted for, or anything that is, all the expense must have a name. So as we've already mentioned, then after that, you know that how much are you spending. Then it will give you either a positive number or a negative number or a zero. When I say zero budget, I'm not meaning that you are broke. It's just that it helps you that everything that you have written, all the expenses, including the wants, the needs can be that maybe you want to save for a car. Those are, I mean, the wants. That's when you want to save for a car. The needs surely is something that you need to survive.
You can't live
You can't live with those things.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that the needs are covered. The rest is expense. You can always cut, put it away if they are not necessary. If maybe your number is getting on a negative number, then that means you can decide, you know what, I don't need to save this much. I need to cut on savings. I need to cut on eating out. I need to cut on transportation. Like what I did, I had to leave my car, because when I checked after doing the budget, I realized that the transportation is too high. From Soshanguve to Pretoria North, Spanning is too much for me for now at the moment. It's not important to me at the moment. I can catch a public transport. Now, when I catch a public transport, I take the number, I have a little bit of savings that now I can direct it to a certain amount, bring my budget to a zero budget.
So it can work. So it's over.
So it shouldn't be over. And if it's over, you are over budget, you are living beyond your means, then that means you need to go back and also look within those expenses. You have to ask all the expenses, are they necessary? Each and every expense needs to be necessary there.
Including the bank charges, because that is also part of the expenses.
Yeah, but that one you have to do a tracker after, as Sebenzile said, that you need to do a check after that, because there is a tracker and there is a budget. Budget, you spend the money on paper before you can spend it, the actual spending. So it's more of a projection of how you want your income to go, to your income to, and this expense, I must pay the rent, I must pay this, I must do this, I must do this. Then eventually, now you know that your money is going there. Now you go and do exactly what the budget is saying. Now, after you take what Sebenzile is saying, you come with that amount, either end of the month or bi-weekly, you punch it there on the tracker. Then after punching it, now it will tell you whether you were over the budget on that category or you were lower.
Yeah, but you see, your bank charges, they vary, right, from month to month.
Yes.
Is that the reason why you're saying you need to do it after the month to put it into...
Yeah, because remember, you can tell now that roughly I'll spend this much on the fees.
Yeah.
But then you cannot be for sure how much, because some of us, you find myself withdrawing 100 rand today. Tomorrow I go and withdraw 100 rand. It seems like I just want to see the money there on the account. Why don't I just take what I need? Because if I have a budget that the transportation cost is about 1.5, I must go and withdraw 1.5 and put it somewhere, this is the money I'm going to use for transportation. So now, the fees is only once for that withdrawal. But now if every day I'm like, what do we do? You go and withdraw 50 rand. You go again, withdraw 100 rand. So those things are bringing more fees for you, bank fees, which becomes more, because then you just taking a little bit, it's charging you. So once you do the budget, you know how much exactly do you need for whatever needs or want in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also, you'll be getting calls during the month from friends, families asking you for this and that. Do you currently in your budget, do you currently factor it into it?
Yes, I make sure that I have a brother at home is also on the expense, but I will put it on one of the expense that are more like a desired or not that necessary.
Yeah.
I'll call him one time. I'll call and say I need this much, but I'll tell him I can only afford 700 or I can afford 1,000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I factor them in there. Remember, if you don't put any extra in one of those expenses in there, you'll find yourself in a situation where you didn't account for that 1.5. And if you don't account for that 1.5, you didn't know where it went. Maybe that if you put it in there, you'll like now December, I decided, you know what, should I fix the car or not fix the car?
And now it causes you again
It's
to go
December
back.
now.
Yeah.
So I must now, or whatever bank that I'm banking with, and borrow money again. But now you see the importance of me seeing it before it happens. Seeing the money before I spend it so that I can
It's actually
plan
having a
properly.
foresight into what you're going to be spending on, how much you're having. It helps you to mitigate having to go back
Even
to
to
the
go
bank.
back. So even if you are on the negative budget, that means you have listed all, you have covered all the needs and the wants through. Then you are able to know whether can I go to a positive one.
Yeah.
So at least wa bona no khona go be le sakanyane le gore o ka khona go ishumisha for other desires that je lo di tlhoka mo bophelong.
Yeah, I want to bring the element of emotional intelligence into the conversation, and you can jump in, Sebenzil. The discipline, to control yourself emotionally, to say I don't want this, I don't need this. What does it take?
Okay, but I think maybe an easy way to think of budget is maybe it's just a plan of how I'm going to spend my money, right? Okay, but then besides that, I want to ask you, how did you get to the point where you are? Can you just tell us your story? Firstly, how did you get into debt? How did you get out of debt? Then from there, you touch on the emotional strategies that you use to then get yourself out of debt or to keep that willpower and the drive to get out of debt. And then what are the strategies you would give now to someone who's now looking like they're very close to debt, they're in debt, trying to get out of debt and things like that?
Okay, all right. I got out of debt because I didn't know where my money is going, and I will spend. If my brother calls me, say I need 2,000, I'll give him 2,000 because at the time I have the money. Remember, let's say you come to me on the end of the month, and you want 2,000. One of my sister's brother, I'll give them. Only to realize 2 weeks to come, I'll need that money. But then if I don't budget, then I won't see that. So what happened is I kept on doing that. Going home, as I've said before, I'll go and borrow money just to fix the car. Like at the moment, before I fix the car, I check if it's important for me to fix. Do I really need the car? So I check those things. But before, I'll rush to the bank and get them borrow money and fix. Make
fix
sure
it.
that whatever is, if it's 10,000, it's 15,000, I fix it. And also, black tax, Maoledi. So,
Yeah.
Maoledi once called me, say, I need this much of money. You can't say no. It's
Must
very
make a-
difficult
yeah.
for Maoledi I can't give you
That's true.
something.
That is
And you
true.
end up going to the bank and borrowing money. So it starts like that. And I also tried to businesses also, that I want to run business, but then the idea was not business. It was, shaya the consultant go banking.
Yeah.
Or I need a zaga, go build the room. Mara ke fetsa ba fetsa mfazaga then ke chia 10.
Yeah, because of now you have it.
So you just go and spend the money. It was just impulsive spending most of the time. The phones, you buy the phones. It builds up. It's like when someone get fat. When you get fat, if you go and ask someone who's fat or mucha rotle you are over fat, aga sula o bocha o ra botsana o di etching. O no tlo no bocha o ra ke sure ke fitle you. So ke nna o. So so you ever challenge you.
Okay, then just one thing. Okay, so I'm a
Yeah, please go ahead.
okay, so I'm a student on my last years of varsity, right? Right now, what I'm seeing on my banking apps is apply for credit card. I'm seeing apply for credit card. We give you 2,000, 8,000 worth of clothes. You pay us back, where the price stays the same, but then you pay later on and things like that. Then my question is that how do these things play? Because these businesses, right? I don't have any money personally, but I still get the chance of credit card and credit score where they're allowing you to have money that you don't have, and then that puts you in the red. Where now I think also you like borrowing also. How does that then make you? How does that make you then become now? Then you find at the end of the day you're over budget because now you're in minus because now these companies they're giving you the freedom because of the credit cards and things like.
Yeah, with that, I'll just say run. Don't even go there. Yeah, don't even go there. I don't wanna tell you because that thing is emotional. I used to think that when I'm swiping with that card, I'm saving money. Because I'm not actually spending the cash. You see, I'm just swiping that clothes card or something at whatever clothing account that I have. So you you keep on swiping. So I'll just say, don't even start opening it. What else can you do? Because that thing is emotional. Once you go in there, you start buying. You'll max the credit card. You'll also you need clothes, yes, but do you really need clothes? That's a question. Because you find that all your needs are covered. All your needs. But do you really need that second pair of shoes?
So I need you to walk me through this, Mathieu. We've been speaking about budgeting. I think we have a clear picture of what that is. But I want to basically understand pre-budgeting and post-budgeting. What were the repercussions for your family?
That was a tough one. I don't want to lie. It is difficult because now they feel like you are denying them the life that they must live. But then when you bring them, hence I say you must have a budget meeting. They understand everything.
You sit down with everyone.
I had
they
to
see.
sell them the idea of that I need to budget because later, because in future. So I always say after 3, if I'm finishing the debts after 2 years, I'll just say after 2 years you'll have this life. So I had to sell them the idea, the vision that I have on myself that, you know what, once we do this thing proper, then we'll be set for life. Because let me ask you a question. Would you rather live on the edge for the rest of your life, or struggle for 5 years or few years or 3 years than to live your life debt free?
Yeah, no, it's better to live like a slave now and be a king later. So yeah, I'd rather live like a slave now to live like a king later. I don't know about you, Sebastian.
I think it's easy for us to say that now, where we're saying that is it better to live on the edge for a long time, or is it better to then try your best to finish in 5 years and 10? But then we know that tomorrow you're gonna come and like you see your friend, you see someone there driving a nice car, wearing that nice shoes, and you're like, hey, even me want to be like that. Or maybe like you're fine for a week and then you have a bad day and then you're looking at outside, you see others as well. Like they're living the life you want to live, and then that maybe moves you to the side. So how did you yourself figure out that I see them, but for me, this is what's important for me and for my family.
I think it goes to the commitment, Hence, I'm saying your goals. You have to buy into your goals, because there's nothing that I can say that can make it easy for you. It was tough for me as it is. It will be tough for anyone. So, yeah, nna ke le nna ka letlalo, straight. Ke kwele ka letlalo. It's not that I'm doing this for the love of it. There's certain things in life you have to do them. You have to do them, because they say you must do what you must do now, so you can do what you want to do. You understand? So there's nothing that I can say will make this thing easy. And there's nothing that I can say that can make the budget easy for anyone. Because it is a tough one, but sometimes we need tough love to really move forward, especially when it comes to finances. Because if you give in to the emotions of everyone and you know your situation, you're just getting deeper into debt.
Because the drums will be sounding for you later on when they are gone.
And that thing is, it will kill you. I've seen people collapse via dikoloto. So when you go through that process, we born at that thing. O bona lady, o phela o ilwa le lady before ya skela. O kry tšhelete ya di registration. Ase pap and flays. So there's nothing easy that I can. That is why even this conversation is so intense. I can see you, Tato, there. Even your eyes are turning red. It's a tough one, because I cannot say this is the easy way. You just have to get a accountability partner, someone that you can move with, that you can see, or how can we make it more interesting. So bring in the locha as I was telling you that sometimes I will just go into the budget and check, what, now I've managed to cut this guy.
Yeah.
I go to the bank and tell them, what, that 500 that I've cut, I know I've cut the 500. Put it on my savings. Now you must have something like that you're looking up for, like a goal, more of that maybe you want to buy yourself those shoes. But when you put that expense in there, that savings, we call it, you must make a savings and expense. When you put that savings in on the expense column of the budget, in 3 months, I'll get that thing.
Because of you're working towards a goal.
You are working towards a goal. But now if you budget on an open goal, just for the sake of budgeting, it's not going to help. Hence, I'm saying what was pushing me was getting to financial freedom, getting to that place where I can see that money. I call it a big promotion.
Yeah.
Because come when I'm done paying, then that promo, you won't get it at work if you no longer paying anything.
Yeah.
Some they will say, don't do this, don't do this. But for me, it was a tough one, and a tough one. Sometimes with this emotion, we cannot be relaxing and say, just patting ourselves at the back every now and then, say, what, no, I can't do this, cry baby, I can't do this, I can't. We just have to man up, Tato. We just have to man
Take
up.
it on.
We just have to take it on. If you have went through the journey that I've went, you will do it. You will.
And I guess this is not a skill that you're gonna throw down the train. You're gonna need to continue with budgeting now that you're out of debt.
Yes, I have to continue now. We're looking now into building wealth. Then building wealth, now you start looking into, I need this big house, I need this and that. So then you are able to put money away to invest or to buy property, whatever that you decide on.
But you're able to be accountable of your money. You can see where your money is going. Everything is detailed down.
Everything is detailed down, and it has to be a budget that is a living budget. You cannot do a budget once a year. And then always when you have that budget, you have to do it a monthly budget.
Yeah.
Every month things change. Things change every month. this month you might have an emergency. There's some expenses on the budget that must now not be fulfilled. You have to decide on another. Not every expense needs to be fulfilled, like pay each and every expense on the budget.
Yeah.
And that's how I've managed. I had to leave the other ones out because of the other ones are more important than the other ones.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to desired stuff. Like as you have mentioned that you need that label, you need a shetela diesel, or you need a batuela ya Nike or something. If that thing is not a necessity, cut. It's not a need. At that moment, you have to cut it
Out. Yeah.
for that moment. It's just for that moment. It's not that you're going to cut it forever. At the same time, you can put a little bit of 10% towards getting to buying that shoe.
Yeah, but this topic is heavy, but
Yeah,
I know for me it's heavy, and I'm not so well versed in this topic, so I'm not sure what else would you want to say to the issue of budgeting to people who are watching at home.
Yeah, what I can say is that if you, it's more like, let's say, the hardest thing that it's easy to do a budget, but it's difficult, but it's also simple to do it. So what I can say that if you are really struggling with the budget, I can share the template that you can only look at once a month. Just imagine, just once a month. It's not that you're going to do it every, because if you are anyone...
Don't share the template. Let them book you
Okay,
to
all right.
facilitate. They must facilitate family and individual.
They must sit together with you.
Yeah.
So we knew, hence I was also coming to that we need a family meeting.
Yeah.
Or maybe what I can say, a budget meeting.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't get yourself out of, or maybe if you cannot do a budget on your own, you need someone.
Yeah, that's true. Someone else can be able to hold you accountable. And
Yeah,
show
that
you.
can hold you accountable. Mama Tsie, you said you need this. This is your need, and you want to budget for this. And did you do all your did you pay your rent? Did you do? If then we have to do that, let us do that then. Because I once asked my friend that what is more important between the car and the rent. He said the car. Now you are sleeping at the car.
So you must take them to rehab. Rehabilitation, or do you want the car or do you want the house?
Yeah, you have to choose sometimes, because we can't keep on saying, no, I want this, no, I don't want this. That you need to really tackle it. This thing it's a tough one. It's not easy. It's not easy. But most things in life are not easy.
Yeah, no, that's true. In fact, the things worth having, they're not easy in life. They are not. They're not.
No, just call me if you're struggling. We'll do it, that thing. We'll do the budget. Yeah, we'll do it. As simple as it is. If it's simple as it is, no difficulties, nothing.
No, I will call you. I feel like we've spoken more into it and we're going around the circle now. Captain, highlight closing words.
So for those who are in the studio and me being on air, I've realized that we have those who have made their mistakes and they are now getting out of it. There are those who are still making their own mistake, which they need Matthias' help. And there are those who are about to make mistakes because of they say, what if the people are living the life that I want to live? Yeah. But now people are telling you, if you want to make your own mistake, come.
Yeah.
But in life, we have those who learn from other people's mistakes. There are those who learn from their own mistakes.
And
there are those who will never learn. But Matthias says, Balega. Balega nginyawo zembili.
Out of it.
Just run. So Matthias, thank you for, I think we all need accountability partner. And people like me, we do. For that family meeting, imagine now I have to call my wife and kids. Say, guys, we need to cut down some stuff and fix. If we are there, they will behave. So we must talk and tell me how much do you charge? Do you charge? And if yes, how much per session? your services are needed, especially in my household.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So Benzil.
No, I think thank you for. I think we can see now. We can see that for you it was a difficult thing to go through. You can't run away from it. It's something you have to look through. You have to face it yourself. You have to look at your money, what's coming in, what's going out. I think that's what I'm taking away from this side. That you can't run away from it. You have to look at it. You have to face it and look at yourself. Where do you want to be, and then make your budget be in line with that.
Thank you. Master,
Yeah.
parting words. What is a highlight for you?
The highlight is if you are only maybe pudi wa ntse ngare pudi re ke ke dilo tšao di pudi go gae. But what I'm trying to say, if a zebra sees a lion, e ka no ntsha tlhogo fela,
It runs.
e ka se tlo rana casual ya no shiana so slowly. Yo shiana. Those people are no. Those guys are not in for. They are not playing. Those are lions. The credit card, they'll take you down. Yeah. So I'm just saying, just run. You know, run.
Like a zebra.
But just take the budget is very important, guys. I've learned the hard way. So yeah, as Bra William mentioned, if you need any accountability partner, you need any session, let's do the budget together. This thing is difficult, I know, and I've been there. It was a hard one. So, but I'm here to also make it easy as possible. We'll have other simple way of doing it, which will also during the meeting, budget meeting, we can see how simple we can make it, so it doesn't become a big feat for you guys. But thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patia. Well, for me, I think what I'll take away from this conversation is that if there's anything worth having, you need to walk the journey. You need to sacrifice. And I think I need to also go sit down now and start looking at my expenses to see within my salary, am I over spending or underspending? Then we can, now I wanna concurrently work on it while building wealth. I can't just be focusing on getting out of debt, because we learned from the previous episodes that there's a good debt and a bad debt. So yeah, and thank you so much for sharing on that journey and sharing your personal stories. We truly appreciate it. Great stories come from personal stories. With that, thank you. Cheers.